Good morning, everyone. I've got everyone muted today. We've got quite a few people on the phone, so we're actually going to use the chat box. So lots of great interaction already. Thanks for everyone who's chiming in and saying hello. I'm going to keep my eye on that as we move through the presentation today. For those of you who just jumped on the call, please grab a notebook and a pen because there will be lots of notes and takeaways today. I'm going to move kind of quickly. And I want you to take some notes, and at the end there's going to be a little bit of homework, so get real comfortable using that chat box as we move along here. And a big heads up that you can hear me would also be very helpful.
I can hear you here. This is Rob.
Marcia, I'm not seeing your screen.
Can I get a heads up that everyone can see my screen and we'll get going this morning? Awesome. All right, as I said, if you're just logging on, grab a notebook and a pen, open a Word file, whatever you need to do to take notes this morning. We're going to cover a lot of ground. Good morning. Thank you for taking time out of your schedules to join me. This is an update to a webinar that I did last week. We're going to cover the 11 steps to succeeding in a crisis, and we really do have 11 steps this week. We added quite a few last week with everything going on, and this is an update to that. The message that I'm bringing you today is one of positivity. As I said, I'm a business coach. I've partnered with a company called Action Coach that is a global business coaching firm. They are the oldest and the largest, and the benefit to that in this time is that we've got coaches all over the world, and we're trading information throughout the day, and so we can kind of see how this the economic impact to this public health crisis is impacting the world and how it's moving across and what they're experiencing, so we can benefit from all of that information. So My message to you today is I've heard a lot of negativity this week. Not to underscore that this is challenging, but my message today is about positivity. There are some opportunities in this situation with planning and some mindset shifts and some creativity. You actually have an opportunity to come out of this better than maybe you went into it. So the reason I'm positive today is that we have a lot more information this week than we did a week ago. We've got some relief coming from the government, and we've got incredible amounts of information and resources at everyone's disposal. So I would encourage you to take advantage of that. If you have questions about that, we're not going to get into details around those resources, but they're out there. So access your SBA website, your government websites. There's lots of HR partners that I'm working with that have information. So if you want access to any of those, reach out in the chat box or follow up with me at the end and we'll get those to you. Your focus right now as a business leader is to really focus on what do you need to be doing differently? How do you need to be leading, showing up, and what changes do you need to make in your business so that you can come out of this in a better position? So right now it's about surviving. We want all of our businesses to survive through this, and then what can you do to come out better on the other end? So make sure you grab a notebook, pen, Word document, get real familiar with the chat box. I'm actually going to give you some homework at the end. So if you get, if something occurs to you that is kind of an aha moment for you, throw that in there. If, and at the end, I want to know one thing that you've learned from this that you're going to put into action in your business, either today or Monday. So there will be a quiz. All right, first and foremost, the first thing you need to be doing as a leader and a business owner is positive communication. Please, please, please be communicating positively to your team, to your customers, to your significant others, to your family. This is going to pass. We are going to move through this. It is going to be hard. It will likely be a few weeks. We could still be seeing some implications probably into 90 days. So there is going to be an impact to you, but your focus needs to be on what you need to do to come out stronger. Your enthusiasm, your focus on your vision and your goals and your passion, and your enthusiasm right now, your level of energy that you bring to that is critical. You need to be both positive, but be positive because you have a plan in place. Do the things you need to do as a leader to be prepared and move forward. That's going to lead to positivity. If you're just positive without a plan, that's going to seem like lip service to people. So do what you need to do, get to the resources that you need to get to, change up your business model, change up your marketing so that you are prepared to move through this. Give people something to focus on, to grab a hold of, and to move towards, even if it's something small. We're going to talk about managing your team remotely through this. Give them something to hang on to and be working towards. Your goals are probably going to become a lot smaller, shorter, and quicker right now, but that's okay. That's how people are going to move through this. We're still going to have tough decisions to make. You need to be planning on how your business can survive on probably 30 to 50% of the revenue that you had going into this. So how are you going to do that? What resources do you need? What money do you need to move around, take advantage of, and what changes do you need to make? Are there changes that you knew you needed to make in your business and just weren't doing it that you need to put in place now? We could all really turn out better because of this. I think we're seeing this sometimes in our own personal lives and how our families and our households are reacting to this as well. Communication is critical right now, not just, you can't just go with the same communication plan you've always had with your team. You should be communicating with teams and customers 10 times more than you normally do. Reach out to your employees. If they're working virtually, have daily meetings, get on Zoom or GoToMeeting, whatever your virtual platform is, be meeting with them routinely and communicating, putting plans together, and having a little fun and levity with them, answering questions, and communicating about how their day is going to go. What routines are they doing? What new things are they doing to handle the pressure of the situation? Don't hold back. This isn't a time to play small and play into the fear that everyone's experiencing. Next, let's talk about changing your business model. Those that are going to survive through this are going to get real creative. Change is inevitable right now. We need to adopt a mindset. The mindset of humanity is shifting. People are going to start thinking in terms of before coronavirus and after coronavirus. So the formula you see up here, for those of you who haven't worked with me, is the formula for change. So R, let's start with R. R is our level of resistance to change. So everyone, inherently, change is difficult for everyone. Some of us like it more than others, but it's just a human nature. Right now, everyone's threshold for change is changing. We've got a burning platform for change. So the D, the V, and the R, your dissatisfaction with your current situation times the vision that you have for the future. So what am I dissatisfied with, and what do I want my situation to look like? Combining those, multiplying those and combining those with the first steps you need to take, all of those have to be greater than your level of resistance to actually make a change. Well, right now, everyone's threshold has changed. It's inevitable. So knowing what that vision is and knowing what steps to take are going to be critical in this environment. So those are the things that you want to be figuring and working through. There's not one answer to your business model, to your business situation, to your financial situation. So what you need to focus on is we need to be trying lots of small pivots and small ideas, small tweaks to what we're doing, testing and measuring that and seeing what works. What would have been a 90-day plan for you is probably going to be down to a weekly plan. So what is it that I need to do over the next few days, pilot in my business? What new marketing plan do I need to do? What new service do I need to add? Do I need to be shifting hours? Do I need to be shifting resources? We're going to talk about some of those opportunities coming up here, but there is an urgency in the market that you need to take advantage of. Examples are restaurants moving towards family style meals, food trucks putting themselves where they need to be, pricing differences, limiting hours. We've got a lot of restaurants doing carry out, curbside pickup for retail products, for food. What are those little things that you can be tweaking to increase your likeliness to survive through this and taking advantage of some opportunities? This is probably the biggest economic shift that we've had in our lifetime. And you want to take advantage of that. We are going to be forced to use ideas that maybe you hesitated in implementing before. What are those things that you thought, what if, or I would have loved to? This is an environment where you're going to want to tap into that. Those that are less risk averse are going to be much more successful. There are businesses that are thriving. McDonald's, so you would think that they could have a negative impact. They're actually thriving because of their drive-through opportunities. What's being purchased widely? So people's needs right now are changing. So how do you change with them? How can you take advantage of that and see that as an opportunity? Where do you need to shift to meet them? So I think we're all tired of talking about toilet paper, but there's other opportunities within the market. We're all home. People are living differently. They're on their phones. They're looking to social media and virtual platforms for a lot of different things. So how can you shift your business model to accommodate that? People still have, the other thing is that there are people who are insulated from this. There are businesses that are insulated from this. So people still have money. We didn't all lose all of our money over the last 2 weeks. They're just allocating that money differently. So move into different markets, expand, shift your service and your products. Think about a couple more. Leverage and scalability. How can you leverage what you have in your business? Leverage being doing something once and benefited from it several times. So how can you put time and effort into what you're doing and reaping the benefits of that? Scalability. The next sale costs less and is easier than the first one. These shifts may only be short term. You may find some things that you do in your business that you want to keep permanently. We're going to talk about, so when we get into the financials, we're going to talk about maybe you don't need the footprint that you have in your business right now. Maybe virtually there's benefits to that. So we've got Alan Morrison who just chimed in, and I can speak to this myself. Did virtual guitar lessons and for their guitar and ukulele students. My son took advantage last night. It was awesome. He actually feels like he focuses better and plays more when those lessons are online. So how can you shift your business model to do that? Which is a great lead into the fact that virtual is the new normal. So yes, we are going to be using technology. So if you're a business that is not, that's not traditionally what you've done, if that's not where your skill set is, you're gonna have to reach out to businesses who are. So those businesses who do this for a living, I have several, again, if you need some resources, there's several IT companies that can make this really simple to get you online so that you can look at e-commerce, you can get your staff working remotely, you can start to offer things to your customers and clients in a new and different way that you didn't before. Again, salons that are offering retail products to their customers, they're doing curbside pickup, you can do online ordering. That's our new world. And some of those things may still exist. So how can you put that into your business model? Then we need to talk about how we're managing ourselves and our teams virtually. So think about your team. They need to hear from you. They need you to be a leader. Their work is changing, but they're also balancing all kinds of things right now. So first and foremost, from a business perspective and an operational perspective, be meeting with them, hold virtual huddles, get your team together. They still need that connectivity. They need to be together. They need to see each other. You may need to be trading written documents back and forth. Maybe do a report out at the end of the day. What did you accomplish today? What did you learn today? You probably need to think about changing your financial reporting. If you were looking at cash flow every 30 days, you need to be looking at cash flow every week, maybe every day, projecting out what the shift in that cash flow is going to look like for your business, so you know how to plan ahead, what money you can spend, what other resources you need from a financial standpoint. Hold one-on-one phone calls. Just call your employees and check in, not check up on, but check in with them and see how they're doing. Social distancing is probably going to be the new normal. Even when we go back, when we're allowed to, when we release some of the constraints that we have from social distancing and sheltering in place, people are going to be a lot more cautious. So I think we're going to look at big gatherings differently. We're going to be far better attuned to infection control practices, which is a good thing. But you've got team members, make sure that they're not feeling alone when they're working at home. When you're holding online meetings, make sure you're including everyone, making sure that everyone's talking. If not, follow up with a phone call. If you see someone being quiet in a meeting, follow up with them and say, hey, what do we need to get you included? Meetings are going to be shorter, but have an agenda, keep them sharp, short, to the point, and spend a lot of time just talking through some mindset things. Make sure people are all included and contributing. And then again, what changes do you need to make in your reporting and planning? Maybe you need to have KPIs for the day. We'll talk a little bit more about how to manage your team and some of those things, but how do you need to, maybe your KPIs are going to change. What do you want to report out? What do you want to know at the end of the day? Doesn't matter necessarily when they got it done or how they got it done, but what do you need to know from them to manage differently? So Renee says that she's going to start doing 30-second cleaning life tip videos. So Renee owns a cleaning company. So we're going to move into marketing here in a little bit. That's a great, we're going to talk about adding value to your customers and clients, even if you're not selling right now. So we're going to move into that here shortly, but it's a great idea from Renee. Let me make sure I've got everyone muted. Okay, so let's talk about cash flow management. This is top of mind for everyone. This is where we're getting, this is where the fear and the panic start to set in. So this is a good time to cut costs, but cut smart costs. Cut the ones that you knew that you needed to. Cut the costs that aren't serving you right now. If you're shifting your business model, what expenses do you not need? Look at extending your credit. Money is inexpensive right now. Interest rates are low. Banks have been, from my experience and the stories that I'm hearing, they've been wonderful in extending credit, dropping some interest rates, making things available for people. So get that credit. Even if you are debt averse and don't need it, get it open now while banks are lending. Keep your cash on hand because this is going to last for a while and you're not necessarily going to know what you're going to need. Keep your suppliers and your partners, keep that relationship going. You're going to need them in the end. You're going to need that relationship. When we come out of this, our commerce and our economy are likely to boom. We're going to talk about cycles in a little bit. So keep that relationship going. This is a great, if you're slow right now, reach out to your strategic partners, develop new partnerships. It's just amazing what those can bring. So find partners who have the same client base that you do. How can you partner? How can you share clients and promote each other, cross promote to other folks in other like businesses? There's government programs out there. You may, we'll learn more this afternoon on whether the government got our latest stimulus package approved. The SBA is doing some things, banks are doing things. The government program, you may have to shift how you look at that. You may have to move away from this handout, I don't take handout kind of mentality. It's there for a reason. It's there to keep our economy moving and benefit everyone. You've paid into it. It's okay to take advantage of it. Take the time to learn. Some hints are, if you're interested, first go to your lender first. Talk to your banks, your mortgage companies, your loan officers. Go to them first. They will tell you whether SBA makes sense for you. Do them both. If you're interested in the SBA opportunities, get in line, get your application out there, even if it's not complete. If you still have questions, it's going to be addressed on a first come, first served basis is what we're hearing. So take the time to learn that, get your spot in line, and take advantage of those things. Whether you need it or not, you're going to want to submit that. You're going to want, the best you can do is, or you're going to want to try to have 3 months of cash flow on hand, if at all possible. So that's why you want to consider that debt structure a little bit. So Jason shared with me that US Bank has a special program offering 3 months free credit card acceptance, even if you're not a US Bank customer. Jason can help you set up online payments. So Jason is from QC Total Tech. So be working with your banks. They are flooded right now. They're doing a lot of work, but they're doing a lot of good things. Postpone expenses that you can postpone. but I'm going to say this several times throughout my presentation, cut where you can and need to. Marketing is not one of them. This is not a time to cut marketing. This is a time to increase marketing. And I've got lots of marketers on the phone here today that would tell you the same thing. Reach out to them. You are going to change your marketing. We're going to talk about that in a little bit and how you can change that up. But you are still, you still got to be marketing and selling. You are going to have to sell your way out of this. Don't let someone make you feel guilty about this. You're going to change your message. You're going to change what you're selling. You're going to do it empathetically. You're going to be adding value to people. But everyone benefits if you continue your operations as healthy as you can. And so think about that. Maybe you need to be selling different things. We've covered that, but you still need to be selling what you can as appropriate. So marketing, your message is going to be different. So when I say that your marketing needs to continue, your message is different. Your marketing is going to be much more inclusive. You're going to consider what's in it for your customer and client. Stay in front of people. So some great ones I'm hearing just this morning was Hy-Vee. Be empathetic. They get what everyone's going through because they're in touch with their customers. Here's what they're doing to help you. Jersey Mike's, their CEO is on the news today. Just acknowledging what's going on, showing appreciation for frontline essential workers, still keeping you top of mind, and they're doing a lot of goodwill. So that's a great new marketing strategy. Go back and look at, here's another hint, go back and look at your automatic marketing. If you've got things set up that you had planned months ago that are going out, that are static content, go back and look at those. If those aren't a message that's appropriate for the way we're doing business and the way we're living right now, pull those down and consider those. Turn them into organic marketing that really speaks to the value that you can add in this unprecedented time. Use compassion. Get out in front of people. This is not a time to pull back. Someone's going to capture market share. Everyone, I think we're all reevaluating everything. You should be reevaluating everything in your business. Other people are doing the same thing. So if your competitors pull back, go small, get scared, that's an opportunity for you. People are watching how you show up and how you lead and how you move through a crisis, how you lead your business through a crisis, and it's going to impact whether they want to do business with you. So it's an opportunity. We've got some more input. Our broker's letting us space out our payments. Renee just got a text from Verizon that they just increased their data plan with no extra cost. Eric from Nelson says that many insurance carriers are having stopped cancellation of policies due to non-pay. Call your agent. Think about the things that you do in your personal life in an economic crisis and do that in your business. Go back and reevaluate refinancing, what you're spending on your insurance, what you're spending on all of your daily expenses. People are out there to help. Messaging. So where can you add value to your customers? Maybe this isn't a time, maybe you need to suspend some payments. Maybe you need to make some accommodations for them. Maybe cash flow is going to go down, but how can you continue to add value to them? So marketing is about helping other people right now. One really neat opportunity is if you're on a membership plan, so gyms, as opposed to people canceling memberships, they're changing the value that they're giving them. Some of them are sending equipment to their house and doing online videos. We're going to talk about going above and beyond. So there's a bike gym, so like a spinning gym, that rented out their bikes because people can't come in and use them. They rented their bikes and they're filming spin classes online. You're adding value and keeping the economy going at the same time. Reach out. This is a great um, tip I got from another coach this week. If you're in downtime, reach out to every customer you have. Your current customers are your biggest asset right now. You've already spent the time, effort, and money to gain their trust and their business, so you need to keep them. One way to learn what you can be doing differently is to reach out to them. Ask them 4 questions. How are you doing? Sincerely, how are they doing? How are we doing? What does our customer service look like? What does our marketing look like? Do you feel like you're getting what you need from us? What's going on in their market? What changes are they seeing? What are they needing? And then what are their competitors doing? That information is going to open up some great channels of communication for you to learn from them and them to learn from you. Again, we talked about urgency. Virtual is the way, virtual and viral. So we are all online. We are all, social media right now is kind of where a lot of marketing is happening. And viral. So get your videos out there, get tips out there for people to take advantage of. People are looking for information in new and different ways. They're educating their kids online. So get out there and be part of that. Get your face out in front of people, add value, and then know your numbers. So when we talk about marketing dollars and not cutting those marketing dollars, the best way to make those decisions is to know what your numbers are, meaning what's the lifetime value of your customer. So if you get a new customer, what does that mean to you over the lifetime of having them? That helps guide you to justify how much you can spend on marketing. No, if you invest $15 and you get $100 return, you're going to use that marketing technique over and over and over again. So get really familiar with where your leads are coming from, what marketing is working. Maybe try a few new things and see what works and then pivot towards that. But if you know what those numbers are, you're going to know what you can spend on that. That's not a commodity that you should be cutting back on. So if you've got some new marketing techniques, drop those in the chat box as well. Okay, so along with marketing comes sales. So we've already talked about this still needs to happen. It's just going to happen differently. So you have to change your tone. Empathetic marketing and sales. Make sure that you are selling things to folks that they need right now. This is not a time for hard selling. This is about compassion. But still having transactions with people. This is the time for a serious focus on customer service. I've said it over and over again. You still need to sell. You still have to stay afloat. You owe it to yourself, your business, your teammates, the staff that's working for you. You've got to give great value. Don't feel guilty about that, but sell on purpose. What is your purpose? What is your purpose that you are offering to people? And make sure they know that. Make sure they know why you're doing what you're doing and what you offer, why you're passionate about that, and why it could be important to them right now. Relationships are critical right now, especially in this time of lack of connectivity. Others are going to shift. We've got a lot of support people out there. There is a lot we can be doing to help support them. They're still working. There are people who are still getting paychecks. They can't be there for their families. They can't be homeschooling. Where can you fit into there to help make their lives easier? Talked about, I think Tracy's on the line. We came up with a fun idea. I've been trying to figure out how we can help support, how small businesses can support frontline workers. Well, can you offer up some e-gift cards? Let the general public who wants to be doing something, can they buy e-gift cards for healthcare workers? Try to facilitate that relationship so they can buy from you and you can help out. Healthcare workers right now are hard to reach. They're in a very protected environment and they're distracted. So what can you do to help them when they're home relaxing with their families and help support them so they can continue to take care of us? Sell on kindness. do good things for other people. Restaurants, donating food or setting up, create a new experience for someone that they didn't have before. Donating items, do what you do really well. So Alan offering a lesson to my son last night helped him break from staying at home and not having anything to do and do something that he loved. It's a win-win. David said referrals are crucial right now. If you know someone that can use a colleague's product or service during this time, connect them with purpose, not just a name and a number. It's still a great time for networking. You can do it virtually. I have virtual coffee. I have virtual happy hour. I've made some great new strategic partners this week. Just because we have time, attention, we're all in this together, and it's actually, I consider that a pretty big win. Okay, customer service for repeat business. We touched on this a little bit already, but keep all of your existing customers is a must. Whatever you need to do, if you need to suspend payments and keep working together, if you need to be doing pro bono work, which is something I'll talk about at the end, but I've got blocks in my schedule so that I can be coaching people complimentary because they need it right now. Going above and beyond for current customers. You need to be helping them surviving as well so that we can all emerge stronger. Going above and beyond, we talked about the cycling gym, lessons on FaceTime, food trucks where people want to congregate. Be thinking about what people need right now and where you can offer that. Build your ladder of loyalty. We talked about market share shifting, everything being virtual and visible, critical non-essentials. If that's a term you don't know, I've got some great articles on that. This is what can I be giving to my customers to make them feel special and build that relationship. So recognizing birthdays, recognizing special occasions in their life. When they become a new customer, spoil them rotten. Give them things that they weren't expecting that really set you apart from all of your competitors and really make them feel good about doing business with you. Check out QC Have Life on Facebook. They're choosing one music venue, server, musician where they ask for a $1 donation to that person. Over 2,000 people are on the page. Great. That's an awesome example, Alan, of what can you do to help connect people and benefit other people while you're building your brand at the same time. Okay, let's talk about managing your team a little bit and being a leader. Mindset, yours first and theirs. So move from fear into focus. Turn their fear into focus as well as your team is scared right now. You've got to be a leader and minimize the fear. Show them what your plan is. Be communicating with them. Even if you don't have all the answers, they need to hear from you. They need to know where you're getting your information from. They need to know where they're headed. Give them something to focus on that's out into the future. Set new standards. So we're all, not all of us, but a lot of us are working from home. You might be working from home. Show them what that looks like in a healthy way. Stay positive. Show them that you're staying in a routine. Show them that you need to take breaks and be with your family for a while. Establish new policies and procedures and what is acceptable. Working virtually changes how we do things. In a lot of ways, employees are actually more productive when they're working at home. Obviously, be flexible with how they're spending their time. So here's my example with my own family. We've struggled with teenagers and keeping them in routine and getting things accomplished when they don't want you doing that. So what I did was laid out, here are the things that I want done today. Here's how much time I want you spending on it. You do it however you want to do it, but check back with me at the end of the day and tell me you did it. So that for us is just getting in a routine. So next week, when I know that they're doing all those things, then we'll talk about what we want them to actually get out of it. So what's the actual expectation and the outcome? You can do the same thing with your staff. Here's what I need today. Here's 5 things I need done. I don't care if you do it at 10 o'clock at night when your kids are in bed or 5 o'clock in the morning when you feel fresh. If you need to spend time with your family during the day, here's what I need done. How you do it is up to you. So set new standards, be seen leading, be out in front of people. Turn cost centers into profit centers. So you may need to look at your staff differently and shift their role. You've got administrative staff that are going to be less productive. Shift those folks into salespeople. How can you take non-productive time and make it productive time and revenue producing? So you may need to train or retrain some of the staff you have. What does that look like? It's a great opportunity to cross-train people throughout your company. Maybe it's time to bring up a new leader. So this is a lot. If you haven't been doing some of these foundational things, this can be overwhelming to redo everything. So bring along someone who is that person who's working with you that you want to grow into a new leader. Give them some responsibility and delegate and let them help you with this. This is critically important. Keep your staff. Keep as many as you can. Lay off, do not fire people. You are going to need them. One, it doesn't benefit anyone. It hurts the economy. It hurts them. It hurts your morale and your productivity, and you're going to need them again when we move beyond this. So do what you can do. If everyone has to take a pay cut to ensure that no one loses their position, then do that. If you need to limit hours, limit hours. If you take advantage of all the unemployment benefits that we have coming through, learn what those are, but keep your people in place as much as you can. My other caveat is please be cautious with them. So here's an experience I had the other day. Wanted to support a local restaurant. They have limited hours. They're doing takeout. Was so excited. They did some great marketing, went to take advantage of it. And there weren't enough people there. The phone's ringing off the hook. There's no, we're not using gloves. Everyone is stressed out. People are waiting on the line. The staff are miserable. I didn't even want to buy there because I felt like I was making someone's life miserable. So if you're going to do that, be there. Make sure that you have enough staff in place. Make sure that that's your face to your customers for the day. Make that a good one. Make sure that you're offering great customer service. Make people want to come back to you, not the opposite, let's say. We've got some more input here. One of my employees built a new website working from home. Launched, this is Alan at AM Guitar Works. Also made one of our instructors an employee for 2 employees who are self-quarantined. Awesome. You're gonna have to move people around. You're gonna have to use them differently, give them some new skill sets. That's a great example, Alan, thank you. Okay, back to mindset, building a strong mindset. Look at your daily rituals. Encourage your staff to be doing daily rituals, staying in a routine. Increase your learning and your growing. Build in some time in that routine to read some books, get educated on things. For you, it might be learning some of these government programs and some of the things you need to be taking advantage of. For your staff, it might be a new skill set. Maybe it's some leadership training. This is an opportunity. You've got to look at this as an opportunity, not a crisis. Find the small wins in everything. Maybe it's that I got up and I was in front of my computer and I was at work at 8 a.m. or I stayed in a routine today, or I learned something new. I created a new partnership, learned how to do a webinar. That's been my biggest learning over the last few weeks. And the other thing I'll say is sometimes you've got to shut the news off. So stay educated, stay on top of things, and then shut it off. My learning over the last couple of weeks was in my gusto to increase my marketing and get in front of people and try to help people, I was panicking, throwing myself into a panic attack, seeing all of the social media and what everyone else was doing or not doing. And I wasn't doing it fast enough, or a variety of things. So I had to shut it down. I only post twice a day. I check in once a day, and I block out my time. I do one project at a time, and it has dramatically improved my productivity and how I'm showing up and what I'm getting done, and my satisfaction doing it. So be cognizant of that. Go for walks, take breaks throughout the day. Tracy says Tracy runs a speech therapy company. We're up and running for telepractice to provide speech and language therapy. She just signed up for a private practice teleconference, but held by another speech pathologist. So that's her education. She's nervous, but it's a shift and she's jumping in. And so that's a great example of something, knowing Tracy, she's probably wanted to implement that for a long time. Now we're forced to do those things that were floating around in our head, that now we need to take action on and put into focus, and put into action. So great job, Tracy. So that's a great shift for her, in that not only is she adding value to her current customers, I bet a lot of other small speech pathology practices aren't doing that. So she's going to capture market share, because there's kiddos out there that need speech therapy that don't have access to it right now. So it's really a win-win for everybody. Okay, so we're going to be at this for a while. We're probably looking at a 90-day game. So pull out your 90-day plan. If you don't have one, get with me. We'll get one in place. Pull out your old one, see what you need to shift over the next 30 days. What sell for 90 days, that's something new and different. And then maybe you'll find out after 90 days that's something you want to keep doing. How do you need to market differently over the next 90 days? What new offerings do you need to do? What do people want and need? Again, if you're not out talking to your customers and your clients, or your competitors' customers and clients, you're not going to know what that is. So if you want to learn how to market really well and run a good business, start there. Just start talking to people and figuring out what their need, their pain is, and how you can meet it. Maybe they want normalcy. Here's my other speech, is if there are things that you can do that you've always done, keep doing them, because you're also part of this economic flywheel. So if you can continue to provide a service, provide the service. If you go to the grocery store like you normally go to the grocery store. Use the services that you continue to use. You don't have to change everything. And I think that's going to benefit people in the long run. You want them to do the same thing for you. You want them to continue using your services. You do the same for others. If you don't have to change parts of your lifestyle, don't. You've got to think about back to your business, how are you going to deliver and charge for people? So if you're going to change up that model, from an e-commerce standpoint, what do you need to get in place? Again, lots of IT folks on the phone that can help you get that set up. Your focus, like I said at the beginning, is survive first, survive this, and then how are you going to thrive when we're all done with this in the new world and we all get back to our new normal. Work with me. If you have any questions about any of these things, reach out to me. Again, I'm meeting with folks complimentary. If you want to just brainstorm an idea, if you don't have a plan, work with me and we'll work through that. So Darren is sharing, he runs a power washing business. They're sanitizing playground equipment for free. I saw that. That's awesome. So that's a huge concern right now, is some parks are closing down because kiddos shouldn't be there touching all those things. My kids say that to me. I said, go play in the park. And they're like, but that's where all the germs are. So Darren's doing play equipment for free so kids can go out and play. That's awesome. And that's going to go build huge credibility with the community for you. Okay, so let's shift back to finance just a little bit. So if you aren't impacted, if you if you do want to take advantage, there are significant opportunities to invest right now. The stock market, while fluctuating all over the place, it's kind of having a little bit of a fire sale. If you are tuned enough to take advantage of that and risky enough to buy in, there are bargains right now that you want to capitalize on. There's going to be companies up for sale. Not everyone is going to make it through this. Your competitors might not make it through this. If they don't, their businesses or their customers are likely going to be available. Let's not call it up for sale necessarily, but there's an opportunity there that you need to be thinking about and planning for. You may see higher volumes when we come out of this than you did going into it. So how are you going to be prepared for that? How many folks do you need to have on board? What's your training program look like? What's your recruiting process look like? How can you, as quickly as you had to downsize, what do you need in place to upsize? And then let's remember your economic cycles. There's the 4 seasons that we have. There are 4 seasons in the business economy as well. After every winter, there is a spring, and there is going to be a spring. So some coaches like to use the analogy, how can you turn a winter into a fall? So how can you protect as much as you can so that you can move into that spring quicker and not experience the true downfall of winter? But it's going to happen. We are going to have an uptick, and you want to be ready for it. Act now. Don't. So I'm hearing a lot of business owners who are pulling back, getting scared, not wanting to spend money. That's not going to serve you right now. So take small steps. If you're that person and you're in that mindset, take some small steps, move yourself out of it, get educated, get talking to other business owners, positive business owners. Don't spend your time lamenting with negative business owners. Think about what you need to do, even if it's a small step towards rebuilding your business, but move quickly. Darren, lots of kudos from everybody. Julie and Rick said, well done. Great idea, Darren. Good job. So I would challenge each of the rest of you, what are things like that you can be doing to add value in this time? I love this story. In Barcelona, they were on shelter in place as well. Someone brought their keyboard out on their, they have a courtyard, and brought their keyboard out on their patio and were playing. And then someone else brought out a sax, and then pretty soon they were giving a concert to all these people who couldn't leave their houses. In your own small way, what can you be doing to do those same things? All right, so to finish up, everybody, I'm hearing a lot of great ideas that you're doing now. What are you going to do differently? So what was your aha moment from this? What new ideas do you have? What do you want to try next week that you haven't? And then to finish up, so I want to see those in the chat box before we wrap up today. And we're running out of time. So what do you do from here with all of this? If you haven't already, if you're not a client of mine, meet with me and brainstorm ideas, put a 90-day plan together to move through this. List 5 ideas from today. I want to see one in the chat box, but list 5 ideas that you're going to take from today and put into action. They don't have to be big. If 5 big ideas is overwhelming, come up with 5 that you want to try over the next few weeks. Let me see. So David's going to focus on my product is cash flow positive purchase. So David does LED lighting and solar lighting. So he and I have talked a little bit about switching that focus, change it from an investment for folks from a cost. So people are looking for new opportunities right now. It's a great way for him to get in front of people and say, you know what, as you're reevaluating everything, reevaluate how you're energizing your home. Renee's going to offer gift cards for healthcare workers. David's going to value added product for airborne probiotics. Okay, so he's going to get on the microbial, the infection control platform. Alan's going to do a better job of communicating with his team how they're doing. That's awesome. Eric's going to use video message to touch base with clients and prospects. Rick, classes on managing adversity, crisis management. I think that's huge right now. It's definitely top of mind for people. Susan's going to create a daily ritual for her mindset. Reach out to me if you want ideas, Susan. Ellen's going to advertise more for students since kids and adults are stuck at home. Absolutely. Melissa, HR webinar for employers. Awesome. Ellen's going to add more inventory. Ellen, you're going to be busy. Melissa is going to learn how to do a webinar. Call me afterwards. I'll tell you how it goes. Julie, focus marketing on healthcare workers and buildings. All right, there's a few I haven't heard from yet. And then what questions do you have? We've got just a couple minutes. We're right at our hour, but we can take a couple questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll throw them back out to the group. Renee's going to partner with the local coffee company as a networking opportunity. Stay tuned. That's awesome. Lots of focus on healthcare workers. I love that. The other thing that's really, unfortunately, starting to happen is not just our healthcare workers, but all of our essential businesses that we were so excited, so excited to keep them going, is that they are also going to probably be impacted. So when an essential service gets coronavirus, it's going to throw things into a tailspin. So we've got to think about that too. Don't just think about all essential workers is what I'm saying. Tracy said, uh-oh, I started reading a book called Chop Wood and Carry Water. I've heard that's awesome. Such a good book. I'm dedicated to daily reading. Bill's going to spend more time educating and marketing on social media. Awesome. Suggestions, hold on a second. Rachel, suggestions needed on how to pivot when in the realm of events. Tell me a little bit more about that. Oh, event planning. Okay. I do have some ideas about that. Just a minute, Rachel. Julie, I know you don't like meet or beat, but would this be a good time for that? Oh, that's a question. In terms of pricing? Yes, but I would change the mindset a little bit to offering discounts to gain new business. I am not a big proponent of discounting. You'll hear me say that. Don't discount, add value. However, and I still believe that, but if you need to meet people where they are right now, then yes, that is an opportunity. Not necessarily meet or beat, just here's what we normally charge, and we know that things are tough for people right now, so here's what we're going to do to make it manageable. So Rachel, you know, I was asked to speak at an event in a few weeks. They canceled it. There's a ton of things you can do on Zoom. You can actually do breakout sessions in Zoom. So we've got a lot of coaches who are doing huge events with hundreds of people over Zoom. So I think there is a market for that in the event space. Now, celebrations, weddings, things like that, you're gonna have to get a little bit more creative. But if you're doing educational workshops and seminars, I think there's a place there. And if you want to brainstorm a little bit, reach out to me as I give it more thought. If anybody online, I know, Gaia, you're in the hotel industry. Things are rough for you right now. If you have ideas around events, let me know. Just a few more and we'll finish up here. Media link. Virtually hold meetings for her women's executive group. Awesome. You know, networking still needs to be done, but it does take a little bit more finesse than I thought. I've had some really great meetings and some that are a little challenging. So lots of resources out there on how to hold a really successful networking meeting. Bill's going to spend downtime reaching out to loyal customer base, be of value. Darren, call his clients, stay in front of them, reach out to them. You know, in this day of social media, a phone call is not it. Pick up the phone. It's still a thing, and you're probably going to be much more impactful with that right now. Rachel's going to open a new venue, so she's already in planning mode, and she's going to be ready to go when people are ready to get out there. It's going to be spring. Think about some of you seasonal folks. We're going to come out of this about the time of really nice weather, so that's going to be a win. Somebody's going to ask employees how they're managing their daily tasks and ask for tips. this isn't about micromanaging. This is about exactly what Natalie's saying, checking in, being positive, helping them to do their work in a new and different way. Dave's going to keep employees engaged with a Beat the Boss competition, sales closed, books read, educational webinars. I love it. Renee, so Renee does cleaning. She can do virtual walkthroughs and quotes. Same with pest management. There's a lot we can be doing virtually. Media Link's going to offer blogs on helping with advertising. And pest management. Is everyone aware of the grants being offered by Iowa Economic Development for small business? Yes, there's all kinds of resources. If you reach out to me if you need them. Otherwise, the chamber, if you're not a chamber member, chamber has some great resources. MRA, your accountant, just lots of great information out there. The SBA website, the government websites. Really, you just have to Google it and you'll find it. Iowa Economic Department's a great resource. So feel free to share those. We are well over our time, so I want to share with everyone. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope that you found some value. I hope you took great notes. Reach out to me if you need help. My message today is keep going. Here's how you can reach me. If you need access to any of the resources that I mentioned, if you want to sit with me and do some brainstorming, if you know other people that would benefit from a webinar like this, let me know. Would love to do it for other groups. Please stay safe and healthy and put an action plan together to not only survive this thing, but come out better on the other side. You're going to be leaner and be ready for a surge of commerce when we get through this. I appreciate it. Have a great day and stay safe.